All right, I'm gonna get started with my live stream. Like always, this isn't financial advice. Always do what's best for you. And so again, the market's being supported. Everything that's red has always been a buying opportunity. It sounds like a broken record, but here we are, green again. The futures are red again. I expect them to turn green again. Why is this happening? Why aren't we crashing? We need a crash. Well, it's because everybody expects it, and there's everybody trying to top tick the market. So as long as there's people trying to top tick the market will squeeze them until everyone gives up. And that isn't happening, even based on what I've seen on Twitter and in other professional traders. They're all trying to top tick this market, which is kind of foolish. So you just have to wait for the confirmation, and we don't have it. So it's buy the dip until otherwise proven otherwise. And yes, we're going to go higher. We're going higher. I know it. I know no one wants to do that or believe it, but that is what's going to happen. And do what's best for you. If you want to short, great, do it. But don't be surprised if you're shorted into a wave 3 of 5, which I think is a possibility where you get this pullback and a rip out in 3, 4, 5, and then another pullback for another dip to buy, so on until late September. And that is what I expect to take place. So that's all I'll say about the market. I'll just kind of jump into your questions. And like I said, if you want your question answered, you're going to need to either give a super chat or just go in the order that I see them. And if you don't want to wait or you miss out, super chat, I go right to it and go from there. So LMND, guys, is that lemonade stock? Yeah, I hate that company. I mean, I just say, again, it has some FOMO around it right now, but it's got a really ugly chart. It's probably in, a bounce pattern like most of the market, most of small caps are. And again, if you look at it, that looks like 5 down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And an ABC correction, right? Something like that. And we could try to see if it reached, how deep the correction went. Yeah, it's off the chart. So very bearish price action. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it looks like that's 5 is finished. So I actually get all the swings here, and the time frame's too soon to really look at the RSI. So I would just trade off this $10 in a bull sequence until it breaks that trend. And it looks like to me there's your first cycle. And you're in your third cycle right now. That looks like it's ending here. So it could do something like that. It could also be another 1, 2 out. So it's too many possibilities. So I would just say, but I do think it's more upside no matter what happens here. And I would be looking to stay supported as long as it's above that trend line. No more moon shit. Okay, Elmo trades. Well, I know and I would imagine, I don't know if you're short or it's just frustrating, but it's just, and I'm not saying, that you're gonna get this, moon, the moon boy, right, which is essentially hyperinflation, but it can happen. And don't say I didn't warn you. The dollar is ready to collapse. Silver and gold are ready to go parabolic. Why would it do that? Ask yourself, why would silver and gold hit a grand supercycle wave 3 breakout, generational high of $60 we've never seen, and why would the dollar collapse? I don't know. What do you think the indices are going to do when that happens? So do what's best for you. I just read the charts, man. I don't tell you what you want to hear, and you don't have to follow me if you don't want to. All right, I grabbed some Chewy today. 4-hour looks good. So let me see the 4-hour here. Chewy is that was a dog. I didn't like it anymore. I put my money in other things that were running better, and that, you know, that's again, like I say, you have to do what's best for you. So just yeah, I would just say, let me see if I can find it here. I know I have it somewhere in the e-commerce area. Just gotta look for it here, and there it is. Yeah, it's in the buy, so it is in a 3-wave area. But if you look at this wave, you don't have a connect. You don't have 3 waves in one. It's so it's still a risky bet, but you know, there's a gap here, so you could, it still could push lower. It really has to hold though, 28.93. So it's just I just don't like it, but you do what's best for you. You could get lucky on it. I'm sure the RSI reset has been significant. Yeah, the 4-hour looks like, you know, it's done. So I mean, to me, you know, you have to really love the company to hold through this. In what, you know, but I'm just looking for good things that are running, and this really isn't at the moment. DNA, let's see, DNA here. DNA is where did I put that? Is that in the meme stock? It's either that or in healthcare. I don't remember where I stuck it. And yeah, I thought I had it in here. Yeah, it's somewhere in here. I just gotta find it. Yeah, I just don't see it at the moment. Let me just do it this way. Okay. All right. So looks like it's in a 4 that's finished, and it's coming out of 4. So to me, it looks like 4 is done, and now it's in some. Now this could be 4 too. Let's take a look. Let's take a little look at the RSI. Yeah, so it could actually still be in 4 and something like this. There, see that? So I think it's a 4-wave consolidation that should be moving higher when it's finished, whenever that's finished. So we'll see if that plays out. Okay, then let's go through AXNX. AXNX, let's see. Look at that, double top, broken trend line. My guess is it's going lower just from those two things, but yeah, because the price, you know, if you look at it, you could say that's 4.5, and it's breaking down. Let's go to, yeah, that should be 5 then. Interesting, the peak RSI was in wave 1. You know, it could be that. Something like that. I really don't like the chart. There's really not enough data to analyze it properly, so I'm going to move on from it. ZTS. Okay, that's a good one. No divergence. That looks like a good low in 3 waves off of a massive grand supercycle. Correction. And out. And now you have divergence, so it could be in some kind of 5th wave. off this low, although that looks like 5 and 1 and out. So my guess is you're in a 1-2 and you're in a wave 3, and it looks like it's opening up on the weekly. You see that? So do what's best for you, but it looks pretty good. For the upside, you broke to a new high, so my guess is it's entering wave 3 of 3. It's in the 3 of 3. You may get the 3 green soldier candle, on the weekly 1, 2, get another one. So it's pushing higher. That looks pretty bullish. Let's see here, MEDP, Medpace. I have no idea what those guys do. All right. Reset, grand super cycle, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 of 3. So this one's an easy one. Again, very bullish, making higher highs. So now don't need to analyze that any further. Cliffs. Okay, Cleveland Cliffs is one I do chart. That's a tricky one. I'm not. I want to buy that, but I'm not convinced it's bottomed quite yet. You see this massive downtrend line. I really want to see that break out. Now this is the chart I have at the moment. Up in 5, down in 3, and then a 1, 2, 1, 2, and we should be getting this breakout in 3 in the breakout of the downtrend line. But I don't, when I look at this, it does look like 5 waves off the low, but that doesn't mean nothing, because that could just be an X here in an ABC, and then it drops. So it's a very tricky. I'm going to wait for this high to break at 23 before I decide to buy this. But right now I'm on the sidelines. This is the more bullish interpretation. The more bearish chart would retest these lows. That wouldn't go down that low. Probably $9. Retest this trend line here. So that's the that's like the panic, sell area. But looking at it, it seems like everything wants to break out these days. So okay, I got 5 from Mitso. Thank you for 5. Oh, cool. Thanks for the 5. I appreciate that. If you have any questions, just feel free to put it in the chat. Oh, there it is. STNE as well. STNE. Okay. Looks like some kind of tight 4 and 5. So we'll call that an impulse. You see the 4 and 5 there. So 1, 2. See, it looks like 5 wave down, but we'll look at the RSI. Yeah, let's go to the monthly. So the monthly looks okay, but not the weekly. Perhaps it's a flat here. But then if that's the case, then this would be the 3, 4, 5. So either way, you could force the flat, or you could call it a 3-wave move. I think it just is trading, against this level here at 684, and now it's pushing higher in a 1, 2, and then this is some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's like a 1, 2, 1, 2 setup of some kind. Now it could do this and then pull back, or it could be another 1, 2. Stay and support it. So as long as this trend line, but looking at how close it is to breaking it, my guess is it's a 3, 4, 5, and then you get another pullback. And then you launch. So that's what I'm thinking. Do what's best for you on that. So then, thanks for the again for the 5. Let's see here, RKLB. Let's take a look at that. Rocket Labs, is that what that is? Rocket Lab, yeah. All right, that looks like 3 down. Yep, no divergence. So it's 3 down. And, you know, so again, could be like a 1. Well, no, I don't like that either. Let's see. Again, not enough chart information to do it properly, but we do know it's 3 swings. Okay? It's 3 swings on the weekly, and you made a higher high. So I would just say you're trading against this 351 in a bullish sequence, and to me it looks like a 1-2 out, and that looks like it's almost done 3 at any moment. It may already be done. Yeah, it looks like it's already done. Did it overlap? Yeah, it overlapped there. So it's something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, the swing could be off, but something like this. I don't like this front part of the correction because it's like 3 waves up. I don't know how you would label that as an impulse, but perhaps you could force that, but I don't. So that's why this one's not good. There's not a lot of data, but I think it could trade higher. Okay, let's see, MTCH match group. Okay, I want to say we've done this one. I guess not. We don't have any data on it. Okay, clear 5 waves, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now that's your connector right there. It was like essentially a crash correction. You know, it looks like it truncated. Let's see. I mean, it's done there. The weekly shows an impulsive structure right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 down. So I would probably go back and label this as a flat and not a 3-wave move. You know, something like, let's see here. And then this would just be label it like that. You have to label it something like that. And then this is your 5 still, or your 5 is like, no, we didn't make a higher high. See, I don't like this. Now this would be better to be a 5, but then you look, that's only 3. So again, it doesn't have a good look to it. Let me see if it's got, so I think I still would go back to this, and then here, that's clearly 1, 2. You would have to go like that. You'd have to do something like that. Typically, when you see like in the weekly, the peak RSI is so early in this cycle, it usually means wave 3 of the grand super cycle hasn't come yet. But typically, wave 3 has the RSI peak. So more than likely, this will break the all-time highs at some point. So this looks like could be a good long-term investment opportunity. I mean, I don't know how much cheaper you guys want it if you think it's going to still be around. Yeah, I would, well, see, you have two peaks taking each other out again. So it looks like a 1-2-1-2 setup. I know it's really bullish to say that, but that's what it looks like to me at the moment. Does it have earnings coming up? Yeah, there it is. August 1st. You know, you could be seeing a massive breakout on earnings on this. But I'm not going to tell you guys how to gamble your money away and lose it all. But, you know, you could see it tag 53 and then find resistance here. If this is right, because you see how it took out erased that divergence. That's very bullish. So do what's best for you. I mean, I could be wrong. Have been wrong before. So it could be a fifth wave and, and screw the divergence and it goes back to 38, but there's a setup opportunity potentially here. So that's a good one. I'll keep an eye on that one. All right, so then, okay, I got another Donald Gibson. Okay, Donald Gibson for 3 UNG. Yeah, let's take a look at UNG and see what we got going on. So natural gas, I was hoping to see some more upside in that. And we're starting to see that push higher. Remember, it follows oil. It lags oil. Oil's been pumping. So this is, staying supported. But UNG itself is here. So this was the last chart I gave you guys on UNG. It looks like it hit the buy area and higher, and I have it going up. So I wouldn't change it. This is what I got, man, for UNG. I still have this set up, and I don't see why I would change my mind, especially we just took the high out today or yesterday or whenever that was. And it could still be a flat, so don't get too excited and fill this gap at $7, but I think to me, it looks like this is supported for this push higher. So it could be done. You could still get a flat, but that would be a buy-in opportunity for a reversal as it shakes out the weak hands to 7 to fill this gap here. So that is, so if you're not in on this trade, that could be an entry here. In the other possibility is it just gaps open and runs, and the shorts get blown up for once in this as this C wave plays out. All right, I hope that works out for you. So let's go back where we were. CMC, commercial metals company. About to take that high in January high, pretty bullish. Well, it's been around for a while. Damn. Okay, so you could see this is a grand supercycle correction right here. And then it's a 1, 2, 3 of 3. You see how the RSI hasn't taken out that peak? But it's a higher high 3, so this RSI is probably going to come out and exceed that in the wave 3. So that means there's a lot more upside left to come in this, and it's not doesn't look too complicated to me. And now it could be that. So you see how this finished here. Let's see if it RSI broke. We'll have to go to the monthly and look. Actually, I have to go even further. I'll go back to the quarterly. I mean, it doesn't help me. I mean, yeah, I just can't. I just see the cycle still going on. So this fifth wave is still in progress. It hasn't ended yet. So what do I think? I think it could be. I mean, something like that. But it wouldn't surprise me to see this be a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and you get a massive breakout in like and to really get that RSI in the overbought area on the higher time frames. But this is the conservative view for now. But I think it's still got support coming. More support is coming. All right. 10-year, 2-year. I don't mess with that one. I don't analyze that. So I won't be able to do that. TLT. I think TLT is going higher, and then it's going to have a rug pull on people. So let's take a look at it and see how that's been doing. So you could see this area. I was hoping this Y wave would come up here like that. It never happened, but I think it's going to. And then eventually you're going to get this Z. So I think we're still in X, and perhaps X ended already. I'll get rid of that. That doesn't mean anything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, and yeah. So I mean, again, I'm just doing this quickly, but you guys do what's best for you, on it. I mean, to me, this is just some kind of triangle consolidation pattern, sideways price action that should be breaking up, only to have the rug pull to 80s for the final move lower, or even lower than that. And this is the correction. WX, Y, X, Z. Something like that. But I don't really trade the TLT. All right, so let's see here, Chris. I bought options on it months ago. Oh, cool. That's great. And that was, which one were you talking about? DNA. Yeah, DNA was weird because as soon as I posted the alert, it like started crashing in outside of what the chart would have, and then it finally like reversed hard, and it was really strange. It almost seemed like it was trying to be manipulated down, and then someone got like their asses handed to them and got blown up. I mean, whoever was shorting that got absolutely destroyed, and I laugh at them because it was an obvious inverse head and shoulders, but somebody was trying to like undo it, and they lost that battle, unfortunately. But it took a patience. That one took a little patience. Like I think GoPro is going to take some patience, maybe even more patience. And then, but anyway, so then GoPro, yeah, GoPro is just that if that's one you just got to like buy it, not using options because you don't have the time in, and you just kind of have to sit on that. And then one day you're going to see it going crazy, and you're going to be like, oh, thank God I bought that. I had no idea they were going to do X, Y, and Z. And now, I'm a genius. But the chart is going to make you a genius buying it. So let me see if I can find that here. So GoPro, bigger picture. Again, it's in massive accumulation. Can you see that? That's creating rocket fuel for the eventual move higher, unless you think it's going to go bankrupt, which we don't think it is. So I think their financials seem okay. And then at some point, it's going to come out of this pattern and launch. And so why am I like bullish on it? Well, when we came out here back in March 2020, we made a clear impulse up. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, you know, a 5-year-old could do this wave. 1. And now we came down in 3, you know, and it looks like a massive wedge. And now we're just about to break out of it. We're just trying to poke out of that wedge in a potential 1-2, 1-2 pattern. So what do you think could come? 3. What do you think happened like with QSI? Right? QSI was obviously not the same setup because it's early, but look, it's the same kind of idea. A 1-2, 1-2, and then look, it just essentially went vertical for God knows what reason. And the thing is then all the news followed. Then we found out Kathy Wood was loading up on it, and so on, and it had AI potential. GoPro's going to have something like that. It's going to start pumping, and then some news will drop that, I don't know, it's cameras, you know, could be AR, VR usage. I don't know. Who knows why? Maybe, but I really like this setup, but I think you have to be patient with it because the easy money isn't going to be down here. It's going to start when people start FOMOing in up here. So I think it's going to slowly build stealthily up, and then it'll get more attention, and then FOMO. But do what's best for you on it. I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it. Okay, you could type the ticket in the left box in trade view. Okay, yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's fine. How do you find trade ideas? So I like to use stock twits, one, to see what's running. I follow a lot of people. Look at who I follow, and they post, you know, different stocks that with using different techniques, and I add those to my list. And then over time, my list grows. And then each day I check it, I see what's moving, and I'm really looking for what's going down, right? You want to buy low, sell high. So I'm looking for what's moved the most, and then I look at the chart, and then I see if there's any setups. That's kind of how I trade, but that's how I find all these stocks is I just pick them up based on, you know, different conversations that I see. You know, like there was another stock that I picked up that's been doing really well so far here, and that was one of these AI stocks, IONQ. I had no idea what the hell this was, but somebody I followed uses a different system down here. It was like, oh, this thing is running, it's meeting all my alerts are triggered, get in, get in, get in. And then I came to the chart and said, oh yeah, this looks like a really good setup. So I got in on that, and it's like one of my best performing stocks. Go figure, and it's still staying supported. And now of course it's due a big pullback in 2, unfortunately. So we are going to get. But I mean, that's how I find some of these. But then some of them I get from you guys. Like somebody gave me Bohr Energy. I don't know. One of you guys told me to look up Bohr, and I've been in that making a ton of money. So I didn't even know about Bohr Energy. I love that. I love that stock because you get energy, you get a lot of beta in it. And I love that chart. So sometimes I get it from you guys too. I don't buy wave 3 of 3s. I like to just buy the 3-wave dips and wave 2s. And then if I get a 3 of 3, then that's bonus. Because sometimes if you chase a 3 of 3, you could be fooled with a flat or something. So I don't chase it like that. I'm not a breakout trader. Only in rare circumstances will I do that. But I mean, some people, they breakout trade, they momentum trade, and what they're basically saying is they're a 3 of 3 trader. When they're saying, oh, I look for momentum, I chase breakouts, well then they're just saying I'm a wave 3 of 3 trader. And that's how they find their 3 of 3s. I don't necessarily like look for that. I look for more deep entries, like wave 2, like Spotify. I told you guys Spotify was about to fall off a cliff, right? You watched my video. I said it's ended a wave 5. Look, it's down like freaking 14% today. And where did I say to buy it? This was too early, right? I said too early. I want to buy it here. Guess where it's going? Wave 4 low, 130. So this is where I like to buy. I like to buy here, and then I get a 1-2 setup. I'm buying 2, and then I'm going to play the entire wave 3 up, and I'll have to sit and do nothing. I can go fishing or whatever and just get all that easy money, and then get out when it makes a hard reversal where the 4 is set, A wave and 4. But here, this is like, so I'm not buying any breakout. I'm not buying this little bit. I want to see like a deep pullback in a wave 2, but ideally I'd like to also see the 3 waves. So here you have 1, 2, 3. What I have to be cautious about if I was going to buy this is that you could get a bounce and another low. So I am looking for that. So this structure isn't perfect. The better would be a bounce and then this low. That would be an ideal looking setup. This would be very risky to buy that here. So I wouldn't. I would wait to like 130 if I was going to buy a crash correction. So anyway, that's what I look for. And wow, this is way overdone, by the way, guys. So this is due a bounce. My guess is it's going to do something like this. And then this will be a great buy. But if it continues to drop, then this is opportunity. And I don't know why did it sell off? Did it really blow earnings? It wasn't too bad, I guess. I don't know. That's crazy. All right, Pixie. That is a stock I had lost a lot of money in when it IPO'd. So I know that one, and I don't trade it anymore. That company is just never. It's always like diluting, converting share. Like it's just not a company that I think is well managed, and the stock continues to just reverse split itself to death. But if you're so inclined to trade it, I mean, look, the trend is lower. I mean, I don't have to stop. So we're not even going to say, is it going to reverse? It's never going to reverse. It's just going to keep going down. So the question is where can I short it? And right now, if we look at it, this looks like to me your start of your next impulse down. We need to see where the RSI is. There's your peak. Yeah, so I was almost right. So right about here. So you're in this wave 5 at the moment. Actually, it's right here. Bullish divergence you see on the wave 5. That's your 3 of 5 right there. So this is your 5 of 5. So it should bounce soon. So let's say it's an A, B, C. Something like that. And ideal entry is 87.5 cents. That's like a pinpoint low. And then yes, it should bounce and it should correct given where it is. I mean, it could correct up to 467, or if it's a miracle, bounce all the way up to $24. But it's a short. It's not like something you want to hold. You just want to short it. But I wouldn't like. This has to develop and mature as a short. But I think a buy opportunity. It's tough to say. It's still in the channel. If the divergence gets erased, then this is going to extend even further down. So it could be risky, but as long as it's keeping the bullish divergence, then it's set up for a reversal. Google. Okay, yeah, Google. Google, I think, bounced tonight. I think in earnings, we saw a bounce, right? So I was labeling it bearish because we only have 3 waves up, but if we could take it, I don't know, I didn't see the after hours. If we took out 129.39, then it's in a 5th wave. And then it becomes, you know, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it negates the bearish structure, and then you have a flat, an A, B, C, and this was a low, and we're off this bottom. So I don't know what it did during earnings. It's probably something like that. So if it did take out this high, then we're looking at the wave 5. And then of course a pullback down to wave 4 low when the entire market corrects at some point. Now if it erases this RSI peak at the daily, then it becomes a 1-2-1-2. So I think it broke out bullish, right? So it's all about if it could take that high out. If it can, then this is the count. If it doesn't, then it still could be a bearish setup. And we'll see what happens, but it's looking less likely given what the market's doing. And this would just turn into an A, B, C, and then there'll be no $60 Google, more than likely. You know, because even if we pull back later, and you know, like I was saying, later in the year, you know, it could be pulling back from 148. Come back down to 111, potentially 100, and still respect this low, you know. So this is making a lot of distance now. Okay, so space and Roblox. Yeah, how's space doing? Yeah, let's see here. So again, space. It looks like to me 5 waves up, and right now I'm still thinking as long as this low holds at 357, it still could be in this setup. And in fact, yeah, you're about to erase that divergence. Looks like you already did. Let's go to the 4-hour. You just did. So this could be done at any moment, at any second. It's wave 3, as long as this low holds at 359. If that low breaks, then I think the trade setup could be lost, which, you know, it happens. And then but then you have a downturn, a connector, and then it could break this low and go even lower. So I think it's an important moment for space, but it's got a really good setup for a 3 breakout if it can work out. And then Roblox, let's see here. So we were in, looks like we're in this bear flag, and it's just continuing. So we thought the consolidation ended here, and it's just continuing. So this is some kind of triangle, right? I mean, that's what this looks like to me. So I would relabel this. Right? Flagpole, flag. So be careful being in this. Yeah, I mean, it could be that. It could already be finished. Again, I don't know how it reacted in earnings. You know, the RSI doesn't confirm the triangle based on some other techniques I've heard traders use looking for compression in the RSI. So, you know, perhaps it's not. So let's take a look at the bottom end structure just to see if we didn't miss anything. Again, a lot of divergence there. The weekly, no divergence. That's too short to be a 3, 4, 5 there. So I would still label this just like I have it. There's your 3, 4, 5. It's just really tight, 4 or 5. So I don't have a good answer for what it is. So you see there's no divergence here. Let's look at the 4-hour. No divergence. So it doesn't look implosive off the bottom. It looks 3 waves, corrective. I can't really, it's tough. I would stay away from it if I were you. I think there's just other things. It still could be a bearish continuation pattern in a triangle. So it can very easily still be that. And if it is, it's lights out, right? It's lights out. So I don't know. Maybe it's got too much debt or whatever. I don't know what's going on with it. But if it's bullish, then you'd have to say this is 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, and maybe we're still in 2. So I just don't like this structure at all. Is there a good dip buy on silver? Yeah, there was Monday, I think, on my video. I saw it hit my buy area. Maybe it was Friday night, Friday afternoon. But I don't know. It's been moving higher, right? I think. So it hit the buy area, as you can see, and it bounced, and now it looks like it's done its first 5-wave move up. So it's in 2. So I don't know where that 2 is going to go. It may already be done, right? And I'm not going to say just go market buy it, but you got, you know, if you were to market buy it, your stop loss would be at 24.25. So I think the risk reward is okay. Market buying it, but you have to be willing to take that kind of loss. And then if that pivot gives out, then the next area would be at 23.76, 23.71, which would push 2 down. It would just be a 3-wave move. So this would be what you're hoping for. This you'll have to be aggressive and just kind of take a risk, but you would need to define that by putting a stop loss at that pivot here. But it could double correct lower, but it doesn't look like that given the way that wave looks at the moment. So do what's best for you on that. Nice entry wire. Yeah, I don't even remember wire. What was what did we? I know someone's asked for wire before. Yeah, how did this go here? 1, 2. So we only came 3 off this low. So yeah, so we have it in 4, in 3, and we have another 3 and another 3. So yeah, to me this is a sidelines area. Now it could be still good buy for 5, but it could be like a 1, 2, 1, 2 setup in wave 5. The other is it could actually fool everyone and go down to 122 and push 4 down like that. So you have to respect that since it's only 3 up. So I wouldn't discount this possibility. Now if this happens, this would be a really good entry. So I don't know. I think it could easily do that. All right. Nice entry. Also, thanks for your videos. I appreciate that, Wall. Novax, big thanks. So that's great. I'm glad that's working out. I haven't even looked at that. Hello, win for you. APLD. APLD. Let's take a look. Three, connector, down in three. So, so that's a 1-2, 1-2. Something like that. So again, it looks like it's in some kind of wave 5. So it looks like it's got some sideways price action coming. You know, some sideways. So this was the easy money over sideways action, unless you can get it to extend. But I don't think you will. So anyway, that's how I look at APLD, Applied Digital. What happened to the MVIS? I don't know. Let's see. MVIS. Yeah. It just corrected a massive impulse. I mean, it looks like to me no divergence, so it was a three-wave move, crash correction, and it's trying to come out of it. Did it break that low? Okay, so that low really has to hold at 353. I mean, if 353 doesn't hold, then this is a connector for this entire move. So that will open up the door to retest the low, the all-time low, wherever that is. So it could have so I think, yeah, I don't know what happened to it. I guess it looks like it's just a trade. You know, the chart isn't any good. I mean, when we saw the peak, there really is no divergence at that peak. So this could have been just a bearish corrective bounce, and it's just going to go to fresh lows, reverse split. So that's why, I mean, personally, I didn't trade it. I didn't like it because of this part of the chart right up here. But you know, typically when a stock has a bearish correction, it doesn't look like this. So this still looks impulsive to me, which is why I still would consider it as a 1-2. But if we do break 350, then I think it negates it. That's the negation. So this is still in play, but it can be easily negated. It's getting close. WKHS, Workhorse. Well, I mean, it's clearly an impulse off the low. And now it's correcting the whole thing. It's too deep. So, you know, in grand super cycle corrections, they can go to 0. And I would be really careful being in this. It looks like the cycle though should be. I mean, would do for a relief rally of at least. I mean, could it be the bottom? It would have to be an impulse down in an ABC. You do have bullish divergence. I would look for this. So that's the weekly. If this weekly could break, then on that RSI, then that would confirm the lows in. and it can go higher. So do what's best for you on it. I do think though it's obviously due a relief rally. Oh damn! I lost my RSI. Yeah, it looks impulsive off the bottom. So if you're a bull, it looks good off the bottom. At 103 in that area, if it can get there. So that's what it looks like, the setup, but I don't really like trading it. Now you did make a higher high here. So I do think the trend is now up, but personally I just I don't like it unless you like the company for some reason. Is Baidu done going down? Well, if Hang Seng's going up, I'm not sure why Baidu would be going down. Now let's take a look at the Hang Seng. So it's just correcting this massive pump off this low. At some point this will finish, and then we got rocket ship out of here. So when that happens, that should pump everything I would expect, included Baidu. Now, Baidu, okay, so that could be the bottom, right? So is it done? Yeah, it could very well be done and out. But like I showed you with China, if China keeps going down, then this will take another swing lower. A wave 2, you really wanted to see it hit the wave 4 target. So it wouldn't surprise me to see it make another low. So I think likelihood is it's not done going down. It's going to hit 136, 136.30 in this area, and that would match the wave 4, and that would be a better setup. I think it's too bullish. I think that 4-hour really needs to come down more. So do what's best for you, but I think that's the play on Baidu. FNGD, let's take a look at that. So technically in the buy area, but the buy area goes from $17 all the way to 0. So that's not very helpful, but that's, technically that's the system I use. So it's obviously, it's going to bounce, right? It's due for one in this setup. This looks like a 3-wave move. Now it seems like it's impulse and down, so we have to look at it from that perspective. So it looks like this impulse is about finished. So this 3 is going to end at any moment, which kind of matches the indices, and then you get a 4. And yes, you get actually more lows than 5. And then, and again, this will, I can't, because it reverse splits and all that shit, so it's going to be a different price, but then it should retrace. And my guess is it's going to come back and back test this, this kind of break, this kind of line around 38 whenever that happens, which is essentially a crash, right? That's the crash in the indices, right? When this move corrects, this 4 could be a pretty severe move too. So don't underestimate the pullback, but I do think that's another dip buy for 5, in the market, and then you get this massive correction back. So, but it does seem like this 5 is about to end if this is the count. Do what's best for you. But would I short the market? No way. I would not. But I wouldn't be taking new longs on FANG either. Sidelines. All right, I'm about 1 hour in. I'll do NVAX and maybe those last few, and then I'm done. So let's see, NVAX. So hit this area. That could be an A, B, you know. Well, no, I don't like that either. It'd make a lower RSI. I mean, it looks 3 waves to me. See, I don't like that. Could this be an A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, C? Yes, that could definitely be it. But then we broke that low here. So this is still gonna. So I mean. You know, I'm not like an expert on corrective structures, but I think what's going to happen here is this is going to come back and retest this low at 564. And this is the pattern where you have 3 in W, 3 in X, and Y 3. So somewhere, you know, maybe even $6, but we should break all those lows and still stay above 560 for this wave 2. That's what I'm thinking. But it's very ugly structure off the lows. All right, DRN, is that I think that's like a real estate ETF, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, real estate. We don't even look at those anymore because real estate's been so bad lately. All right, I mean, again, it looks like obviously a 1-2, 1-2, right? It can't go. It can't break this low really, 470. So there's not a lot of labeling. You can back into the low. I mean, you could see off the bottom 5, and then you could see 3 here. No divergence. So this is the low we're trading off of. So again, it's in a, you know, corrective structure that's really ugly. I mean, could it be that bullish? I mean, what's the Fed gonna do? Cut rates here? Like, I don't know. I think it seems too bullish, but you know, I I don't know if I maybe speculative buy for me, maybe just for a, you know, a hell of it, I'll buy this. It almost looks like Lab Up's chart that I'm playing. I think as long as these lows hold, this one, I think it's just speculation because if you can nail this and this is the count, then this thing is going like to $20 pretty quickly. So, you know, this is the setup, but you really need these lows to hold. If these lows don't hold, then it's just a connector wave for this whole move, and then it's just going to break down and it's going to break that. So then you're going to be reverse splits and all sorts of stuff. So you know, you're kind of backing into a low here. Like it really can't go much lower unless you think that sector is going to get totally like obliterated, decimated. All right, ICAD. That's clearly impulsive. That looks like a 4 off the bottom. Let's see. Man, how long has this company been around? Wow, it's one of those other ones that just keeps getting obliterated. Connector 3. Maybe could you say 5? No, 3. Connector broke the low. Just a mess. I mean, overall structure looks horrible. The overlapping waves aren't good either. I mean, this is some kind of WX, and we could still be an X. Yeah, I think this is just such a disaster. Like I don't know if I can give a good analysis on this one. I mean, it could easily, I was thinking if this was still X, again, 3, 3, so this would be, let's take a look here. If this is X, like that. So perhaps you get lucky and you get something crazy, to come back to 33. But I mean, this is just total like guessing, but I can't think of anything else other than it's a go to zero moment. I mean, I don't know. I would like try to trade it. I guess you could try to go long against 173 this low, but I wouldn't mess with this. Oh, I got $10. All right, hey STY, I'll go ahead and jump to yours. ADES, okay. Okay, so I look at it, not particularly fond of this pattern, right? This kind of like top, it's like a top-in pattern, right? Left shoulder ahead, and you got kind of have a right shoulder, but that doesn't really mean anything in the big picture. But it could, it's just something to be aware about. So the question is where's the low? That's the low. Okay. Let's go to the weekly again. Damn, let's see. So you have a RSI bottom there. It still goes lower. Yeah, so yeah, that's your piece. So they're still divergent. So this is an impulse, that's an impulse. So I'm going to label it a little different. Labeling something like that. Impulse, corrected impulse, and then yeah, so this actually matches up where I think it could go a little lower here. So this would be a 1, 2, so I'll try to label it. So you see there's still more swings left. I think it could still push lower into the under $1 area and break this low, because this is in a corrective state still. And I do think it could be a W, and when this finishes an X, and then you get something very similar to that out in Y. Perhaps just meeting it or breaking it. So I think you know, looking at this, this isn't ready to go yet for this Y, but when you can catch it, it should be pretty nice. And I think it's what it's going to do is it's going to stop people out, trap a lot of shorts thinking it's like a massive head and shoulders, and then something's going to happen and squeeze the hell out of them. That's what I think is looking. And again, this is how I say the market's more like poker than chess. Now, another way to know is here's the monthly when this RSI channel breaks. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, the weekly's not that helpful. The monthly's more helpful. Maybe when does that break is another one. So like if you look at the leak, when that line breaks is another opportunity, which we're right up on, which could signal the end of that. So you have the right idea, I think, looking at this, but I think the timing is going to be tricky, and there's going to be games being played by breaking down and being like a false breakdown and then reversing hard out of that, mirroring what happened here. And I don't know why this did this back then. I don't know what was going on here fundamentally. And then of course it's been, you know, damaged goods. But I do think that will happen, and then it just kind of keeps repeating, you know, W, and then it comes back down. And it just kind of, the cycle, you know, keeps going on. And I think that's what this thing is going to do. But thanks for that, SWY. There was someone that my last one I want to do is GFAI, and I'm done for the night. So not a lot of data, which is always tough. So right away when I see something like that, I just look at it as a correction right from the IPO, right? So we're looking for an impulse down. I mean, that would have been a nice bottom, but we broke the low. I don't like that either. Yeah, I don't. See, I don't like all these overlapping waves. That's the problem with technical analysis. If there isn't a lot of chart history, it makes it really hard to forecast, because the RSI is not even helpful anymore. You can see maybe that's that. Let's just go with that as like the 3. yeah, that's yeah, it's such a so this whatever this is the connector wave for the move down, and I think it broke that low. Well, it hasn't quite yet. So my guess is it's going to continue lower. This is an impulse down in 5. So the connector wave ended here. And now you're correcting the cycle, right? So it hit the 4. So it could be done, ready to go into another massive dump. But there's a chance. So there could be a short opportunity if it makes it to $12 or this area. My guess is if it can make it there, that would be a good short opportunity in a 1, 2, and then reverse split and down it goes. So I think that's it. Now it could still be 2 here, and but like I always say, do what's best for you. I don't really. It's really ugly, and it's not a lot of data, so it could easily not be accurate. Okay, guys, that's all I've got today. Hope you enjoyed our live stream. I got a lot of good information, and we'll see how the Fed meeting goes tomorrow. Big day. And my thinking is dump and then reverse out of that. So, just looking at where the indices are, if we're looking here, you're looking some kind of wave 5. So we get a dump, and then we reverse out of that. So Fed day setting up to be a dump, I think, perhaps going in and then or leaving that meeting, and then maybe again the press conference saves the day, or I don't know, but it's the market seems set up for this move lower, the finish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if it doesn't and surprises to the upside, which it can easily do, then it's a 1, 2, 1, 2. And the surprise to the upside can be extreme, which is why it's really hard to guess it, and that's why I would say sidelines is the best for the indices. Now, some stocks is different, but indices is really, I'd be sidelines and wait and see what happens. But when I really look at the dollar index, I really think it's got a massive drop coming soon.